Tell me about your book that just came out.
Sure, it's called Skyjack, and I have a character named Thea Paris, and Thea is an elite kidnap negotiator. Thea is bringing two young African orphans on the plane from Nairobi to London when the plane that they're on is hijacked, and the adventures begin from there.
Ooh.
So she's kind of, not a very happy flyer. So it's even more fun, to do this to my, when you're an elite kidnap negotiator, you're not supposed to have any fears, but flying is something that she's not really enjoying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and that's good to give them like some flaws and things they have to work through.
Absolutely. And Thea also has type 1 diabetes, so sort of there's a built-in ticking time bomb of her getting insulin in time just to keep, being safe and alive.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take you to write this book?
Just about a year. I'm a very research-intensive author, and I basically spoke to aviation experts like military stealth bomber pilots, test pilots, commercial airline pilots, so everybody, because I really want people to hopefully be entertained, but definitely educated in the books.
Right. And how do you get these interviews? You just reach out and tell them, hey, I'm an author and I'd love to ask you some questions?
Yes, I find that people are incredibly generous and they really want to talk about what they're passionate about. And that's their vocation, right? We all choose something that we love to do. And pilots in particular, I think, are drawn to it because they love flying more than anything. And I was just fascinated to learn things like, where do you think the safest place in the plane to sit is?
Oh, where?
Yeah, any thoughts? It's in the back.
Oh, it's the back.
Yeah, statistically speaking, they're given all the accidents and everything that happened, the back of the airplane is the safest, followed by over the wings.
Oh, and that's really good to know.
Yeah, next time you fly.
Yeah.
And if you can walk by and smile at the first class people drinking their champagne thinking, hey, I'm going to the safe seats.
Yeah, you guys will be the first.
Exactly, exactly. And then also just another quick tip is that whenever you get on a plane, make sure that you either sit near the exit row or count how many seats you are in one direction to the two closest exits. Because if the plane goes dark or smoky, you'll be able to get out by feeling your way out.
Oh, that's a really good tip. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Have you gotten to travel a lot in your research?
Yes, I'm an avid traveler. I grew up actually internationally. My father worked in telecommunications, so I lived in Saudi Arabia, Africa, Puerto Rico, Europe. For this book, I spent a lot of time in Turkey, Bosnia, Italy, Austria, and the not so friendly skies.
So do you have a fear of flying, would you say? Or?
Not at all.
Okay.
My father was a private pilot and he did a lot of aerobatics. So I would go up with him, and something that he would do, for example, would be they'd take a roll of toilet paper and they'd throw it out the window of the plane, let it unfurl, and then you would try to chop it as many times as you can. And whoever could chop it the most times would win the competition. So you can imagine how topsy-turvy that is.
Oh my gosh, I would never be able to, I get airsick. What's your favorite place that you've ever been to?
I would probably say Africa. Africa is magical. There's something about the warmth of the people, the beauty of the countryside, and as well, the animals that you can see there are just spectacular. Yeah. And I love to go on safaris.
That's on my bucket list, to go on safari in Africa.
I can highly recommend it.
Oh, okay. We'll talk to you more about it after.
I'd be delighted.
And tell us about your involvement with ThrillerFest and the ITW. I know you're very involved. You're the woman who almost puts this whole thing together.
I'm very lucky. For the last 9 years, I've been the executive director of ThrillerFest. And basically, we work all year long with a wonderful team of people to build this conference. And every July, we're here at the Grand Hyatt Manhattan. And it's a week-long extravaganza and celebration of everything thriller-esque.
And what was your goal starting out with it?
Well, I think what we wanted to do, it's a not-for-profit organization, ITW, and we're just here to support thriller authors. And please know that we're incredibly inclusive in that, meaning that, it's like we have YA authors, we have romantic suspense, sci-fi. So just as long as it's a page-turning novel, we're happy to help.
That's nice, and it really is such a supportive environment here, and everyone's really friendly and welcoming.
It sure is. And we want to make sure that, if you haven't joined ITW yet and you're a published author, please do. It's free and it's at thrillerwriters.org.
And that's unusual for an organization to be free membership as well, right?
Very unusual indeed, but what we do is we try to work hard in other ways, like, publishing anthologies and having ThrillerFest to try and build some money, and funds to make sure that we can offer this to authors. We're just very, very lucky.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks.